So a lot of the cameras nowadays fixes red eye removal right away, so you don't get this as often as you used to in the past. But if you do have a photo that has red eyes, some of them might be more apparent than the others, like this one right here, as opposed to my son back here. And when you zoom in, you'll see that he does have a little bit of red eye in his eyes. You can do this really quickly and take care of it inside of Photoshop Elements. So what I normally do is I zoom in really, really close. The next thing I do is I go over to my Enhance area on the left-hand side in my toolbox, and I click on Red Eye Removal. Now you'll notice that it could say Pet Eye about down here. If you have Pet Eye checked in the bottom left-hand corner, uncheck that. You can also click on autocorrect to see if it will work, but most of the time it doesn't. As you notice here, I just clicked on it and it kind of helped the left eye, but it didn't do anything with the right eye. So I'm going to go Control Z to undo that, or Command Z for the Mac users. And you also can play around with the different levels here. I normally keep it at the default at 50-50. Try it that way. If it doesn't work, you can try it again. So you select the red eye removal. You can click on Y on your keyboard shortcut. I go in and I click somewhere within that red eye. Now we are zoomed in quite close. So if you notice when you go back to maybe, the 100% or whatever, you won't see as, big of a difference. Like when you come in close, it kind of looks a little bit weird, but you can keep clicking and adding more depth to that. And I'm going to zoom on over here. So I'm clicking just a couple more times. You don't want it to be too black because then it kind of looks creepy. I think that's almost too black. So I probably would have stopped, a few clicks before. But let's zoom into JC's eyes here. And you'll see that there is a little bit of red eye there. So let's go in. I'm going to copy and paste this. I'm going to duplicate that layer just so we can see the before and after because it isn't much of a difference. So I'm going to get my red eye removal, click, and that worked pretty good. It might be a little bit too harsh, so you could take down these different percentages to maybe 30 and 30. But let's zoom on over to the other eye, click one time. I think that's okay. So let's see the before and after. Let's just put it back. Might be a little bit too dark, so we could, take those percentages down. Go before and after. Yeah, let's do another duplicate. I'm going to right click on this layer and duplicate that. The top layer is at 50-50. Oops, let's go back here. The top layer, I'm going to close out of Madison's eyes there. So the top layer is at 50-50. So I'm going to go ahead and just type in 50-50, just so I remember. And then I'm going to turn that layer off. I'm going to go to this layer. We'll talk about layers more, but I'm just going to kind of show you the differences here. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to take it down to maybe 25. Let's take these both down to 25. So I'm just taking them, scrolling them down. You can highlight that and punch in 25 to get perfect as well. So now I'm going to come out here, click once, and it's a little bit less of a dark and fuzzy look. So here's the before, zoom in a little bit more, and then here's the after. I think that looks good. Let's turn this one back on. And that's too much black. It gets into his iris there, and I think that's too much black. So that's how you can play around with these different levels down here. If you first click on it and it gets a little bit too black out in the iris area, take that down a few notches. It's basically trial and error. Hi everyone, I just wanted to personally thank you for letting me be a part of your photo editing and DigiScrap journey. So thanks a lot. I'm Michelle Stelling with the National Association of Digital Scrapbookers, and have a great day. Bye for now.